Welcome to episode 2 of The Kickout. I'm your host, Dre, and it is Saturday. Well, really, it's going into Sunday now, April the 16th. I just got back from the, pardon my voice is low because it's late at night, 1, when I'm filming, and 2, I'm hoarse, from the amazing NXT house show they had in Cabarrus Arena, which is in Concord, about like an hour from where I live. And let me tell you, probably one of the most amazing shows. I would say I went to 2 Ring of Honor shows, one at the Cabarrus Arena where I saw Roderick Strong's last match, and tonight was nothing short of amazing. The energy was that I felt when I was at the Ring of Honor show, and I know no one's going to probably be able to cover this unless you live here in Charlotte, so I get to have like the little exclusive, but I got a ton of great pictures, which I'll post on the fan page, which is The Kickout. It's on Facebook, so if you want to check it out, I'll have it in the description below. The main event was the Revival members, Dawson, with Bobby Roode, our NXT champion, and I did not expect it, but the Perfect 10 and Shinsuke Nakamura were in the main event match. It was amazing. They left this awesome goodbye message because, Dash and Dawson are moving to Raw as part of the Raw brand, and then we had Shinsuke and Ty moving to SmackDown, and they all left a great message saying goodbye. They had a good moment at the expense of Bobby Roode, and the NXT locker room came out, and we had a lot of great matches. It was really surprising. We had a couple of rematches from TakeOver Orlando. We had the Aleister Black Andrade match, which I thought was fantastic. Aleister Black put on a hell of a show, and he's an amazing person to watch in person. So if you guys that are the Tommy End fans, he is living up to his name. So awesome stuff. And DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, they faced the AOP, the Authors of Pain, and it was Paul Ellering wasn't there, so we were kind of surprised. My best friend Chris and I, we didn't know why he wasn't there, but we figured it's a road show. He might not be coming to road shows, but it was still a cool match in and of itself. I mean, AOP still won. But before I continue, one thing I thought that was really odd was that all the old NXT titles were actually at the show. So Bobby Roode was wearing the old NXT Championship. The Authors of Pain were rocking the old NXT Tag Championships. And yes, folks, that means I got to see the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Oh, my waifu. Got to see her, and she looked absolutely amazing. She fought Ember Moon, obviously retained. And it was almost like every match from TakeOver Orlando was a rematch, and it was great to see it at a house show. Like I said, the group of guys that we were sitting with, me and Big Chris are just lucky that we always get these great guys that are like high energy and really funny, and we just laughed at it the entire time. I think the highlight for me for why I'm so hoarse was I was very sad when I bought my t-shirt because I thought Ty Dillinger wasn't going to be there, because he just got his call up to SmackDown this week, and I then said, oh, well, no Shinsuke for me either. And when the crowd was chanting for Ty and Ty came out, his music hit, I went nuts. And then I screamed like a schoolgirl when Shinsuke Nakamura came out. When the crowd was like, Nakamura, Nakamura. And Ty Dillinger just went like this. And then the violin hit, and I grabbed my best friend. I was like, Big Chris, he's here, Nakamura. It was awesome. Hands down, probably one of the best experiences for me who has never gotten to see Nakamura wrestle live. I got to. So again, if you haven't gotten to see an NXT event live in your area, you need to. Triple H came out on the Titantron, or on the NXT's version of the Titantron, and he had a great message. He's like, this is where the fans are doing this, and I got to give it to him, like, being that this is his pet project. It feels so good going to it. Like, Ring of Honor is awesome, and you go to their shows and you feel love, and this was nothing short of that. But I don't want to spend my time just talking about this live event. I mean, I had a great time. I'm looking forward to going to my next live event. But I'm going to talk about Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor. Now, it already has happened. It was the week before, the day before WrestleMania. And several major things happened. And a lot of news has kind of come out of it. If you guys are paying attention to the dirt sheets, or if you guys are a part of Dave Metzler's podcast, or Sam Robertson's, or Peter Rosen's, I hate that they all talk WWE, but Dave Metzler is probably the best one out of those I just mentioned, besides my own, because the kickout's where it's got to be. The Adam Cole, Marty Scurll starting off to open up the match for the TV title. Marty Scurll is amazing to watch. I loved it. Adam Cole now is supposed to be making the rounds. He looks like he's going to be coming to NXT. I don't know if that's the case yet. A lot of fans are talking about it. It is the kind of the internet thing because of the whole fallout with Bullet Club and the loss of a title. And, we were talking, Big Chris and I are huge wrestling fans, and we got the chance to sit down and have a little powwow today. And I wanted to record it, and we didn't get a chance to, but the big things that are coming out of this were Bullet Club seems to be falling apart in the sense that a lot of the leadership is looking to transfer out. I mean, Kenny Omega lost to Tomohiro Ishii in the new tournament to crown a number one contender for the IWGP Heavyweight title. I mean, this was Omega's next shot at coming back after taking 2 months off to deal with injuries and the such and to really assess where he wanted to be. And, with the Young Bucks now really running the Elite as now the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, and War Machine is now they're the IWGP Tag Team Champions. I mean, it's a very big transition. And with LIJ, or Los Ingobernables de Japón, Naito, Evil, Bushi, Sonata, this is the faction to follow. I mean, if you're not a fan of LIJ, where are you hiding? Bullet Club, yes, I will too sweet all day, but LIJ is the faction to follow. We know that, I was mentioning it to Big Chris today, that Japan has now brought back the faction wars, which is something WCW was very big and popular for in the 90s. You had the NWO, you had the Faces of Fear, you had the Legion of Doom, you had the LWO, you had the NWO, then you had the Red and Black NWO. WWE tried to do this with the Corporate Ministry, DX, the Nation of Domination, but that all kind of fell apart for WWE. WCW really ran with this, and factions, because they had over 300 wrestlers on their freaking roster, and now you see New Japan's doing this. And I gotta give it to them. I mean, between CMLL and AAA doing the Los Perros del Mal, which now broke up, they no longer sponsor because they're independent now. So Pentagon, Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar all are no longer part of Lucha Underground. So their contracts are up and figuring out where they're gonna be. And then you look at some place like Japan, where you have Chaos, you have Los Ingobernables, you have Bullet Club, you have Dragon Gate Noah coming in there, and they have their faction involved. You have the Bullet Club Hunters by Yoshitatsu. I mean, it is a huge, huge time to be a fan of independent wrestling. And when I say independent, anybody that's not WWE. And granted, yes, I'm wearing NXT t-shirt, which is WWE branded. But still, the indies are where it's at. And if you're not paying attention to New Japan, folks, you need to be looking at Naito. You need to be looking at the ace that's Okada and the ace that's going to be Naito. And yes, Tanahashi is the ace, but let's be realistic. You got to pay attention to who else is out there. We could talk more about Supercard of Honor being obviously with the ladder match that the Hardys and the Young Bucks did, and the Hardys giving a sound stamp of approval to Nick and Matt Jackson, saying that they are with them at the helm, tag team wrestling is going to stay big. And I have to give it the Young Bucks by now. If nobody knows this, they are probably the best, if not the best tag team on the planet. I argued this because about 2 years ago I would have said Red Dragon would have been the team. But with now Kyle O'Reilly kind of doing his own thing in the indies, and Bobby Fish staying with Ring of Honor, and now they're kind of teaming up on the indie circuit again as Red Dragon. If Kyle O'Reilly would just come back please, Kyle, come back to Ring of Honor and reform one of the best tag teams, I think, on the planet that would rival anybody. And, you know, you're looking at a lot of great teams that are out there, but I digress. The women's division is still, you know, big over, obviously, here in WWE and NXT. I have not really seen it in Ring of Honor. I don't think it's going to grow big in New Japan, and I think it's more of a big thing in CMLL and AAA in Mexico. Sorry, in Mexico. But again, I'm going to digress and keep rambling on about different things, but because I'm still excited from the show. But NXT did give me something really happy to know that they are going to have that women's tournament, because I got to see Ruby Riott wrestle, and if you are not watching some of these wrestlers, oh my god, some of these women wrestlers are doing some great, great things. Trying to think. I mean, if you're a fan of wrestling, this is the show to watch. I mean, this episode too. And I got to talk about a live event. I've talked about Supercard of Honor a little bit. I mean, Cody Rhodes, I can go talk about Cody Rhodes and Jay Lethal and how great that match is. I'm kind of sad that Jay Lethal's going to be leaving the promotion soon. And I know Adam Cole's looking to leave to either go to Impact or NXT. I hope he comes to NXT. Drew McIntyre now showing up in NXT saying he wants to be an Impact player there. No pun intended. I mean, Impact is trying to make its moves towards having a super heavyweight division, which I know WWE tried to do when they had the separation of their weight classes, but at this point, I don't know. I don't really see them really doing it. You know, I think Impact is just... I feel like Impact Wrestling should just go away, obviously, with Jeff Jarrett failing with Global Force Wrestling and all his talent going to NXT or to New Japan, you know, or Ring of Honor. You know, he has nobody left, and he comes to Impact or to TNA or Impact Wrestling and tries to rebuild them, and I'm just like, you're done. There's nothing left for you to do. And well, we can hope. Jeff Jarrett, I think he's got a great voice. I like Jeff Jarrett. He's funny. He can be really energetic and on the mic and really hit things, but I don't want to see Slapnuts pick up a guitar and wrestle or do anything again. And I'm going to leave it at that. So TNA, I think you're on borrowed time, and I think your wrestlers should go to the other respective companies. Yeah, I know I have NXT playing in the background because I just came off the show, and they were actually voting the best match to show during intermission, and of course Sasha Bailey won, and they actually had this match with Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins, and then they had the Adrian Neville, when he was still Adrian Neville before he became Neville, and Sami Zayn match for the title. All three good choices, I think. Seth Rollins I thought was kind of weird with Jinder Mahal, but the Bailey-Sasha match was the one that they ended up showing, which is fucking amazing. If you have not, pardon my French, this is the kick out. You know, I just kicked out of saying a bad word. Ooh, bad language word. It still is a great match to watch. And again, it was when Bailey first won in Takeover New York, if I want to remember, last year. No, the year before last. So, 2 years ago. Not a bad match to watch. I think Bailey and Sasha put on a great show. It was fun to watch. You know, that's what I wanted to talk about. And I think I got it all covered. So what did you guys think? Did anybody on my friends list here or on any of my subscribers get to go to the house show in Cabarrus? If you did, hey, comment below. If you are a fan of just wrestling and you love hearing about it, what did I not talk about? What do you think about Adam Cole coming to NXT? Would you rather see him here in the Impact Zone? Do you think Adam Cole can make a big impact here? What do you think about Bullet Club maybe disseminating and LIJ really making their impact? I want to know what you guys think. You know, like I said, I could be the ref and say, 1, 2, sweet. It's time to kick out, folks. This is Dre. Have a great one.